Here's something I haven't really had a chance to do. Let's talk some baseball. Baseball is one of my favorite passions, and for once, we have some good and some bad stuff that I want to talk about. Hello, folks, and welcome to episode 4 of the MontesMayhem podcast. As I mentioned, love baseball. I think it was the first kind of like big deal passion I followed when I was a little kid living in Brooklyn. I'm going to touch a little bit more on that later. But one other aspect of me is, I like to be optimistic. I like to go with the good side instead of the bad. But today, since I have a little mixed bag of some baseball stuff I want to talk about, I would like to hit the bad stuff first so we can end stuff on like a nice kind of semi-positive, happy note for today. So this is something where if you're not a baseball fan, it's at least worth reading about, inquiring about, or asking some friends what they think about it, honestly. So long story short, an announcer of the Baltimore Orioles has been suspended. Now, if you don't follow baseball, I should note that the Orioles have not been a good team for a very, very long time until recently. And they have a damn good team. I thought they were going to be really dominant starting next year, honestly. At the projection that they were going, they have a great catcher who I am a huge fan of, great personality, it seems. And they just kind of have things that are working out in their favor for the best, and they deserve it, honestly, the players. But that said, as the team is starting to turn their luck around, they are being lambasted right now by other baseball announcers, in the media, by fans, because the team has suspended their broadcaster. Supposedly is coming back. I saw a few reports coming back on Friday. I don't know how true that is yet, for bad-mouthing the team, supposedly. And the thing is, all Kevin Brown was doing was reading some facts, showing off there were some stats being shown off on screen to kind of highlight, like, hey, they haven't done that great against the Rays over in Tampa. Take a listen for it yourself.
This has been maybe the toughest ballpark to play in, but the Orioles have a chance to do something special today. They've already clinched at least a split in the series, winning 2 of the first 3, and they could pick up a series win behind Tyler Wells today. It's been a minute. The Orioles split a 2-gamer with the Rays in June. They had lost their last 15 series here at Tropicana Field. You have to go back to when our now colleague Brad Brock picked up the win in the series finale, June 25th, 2017, the last time the Orioles won a series here at St. Pete. Already got 3-2 at the Trop this year after winning 3 of 18 the previous 3 years combined. It is a stark difference, Ben, and it is not a bad Rays team. It's not like all of a sudden the Rays became slouches in the American League East. They've led this division every day but now 2, and the Orioles once again are back alone in first place.
There you go. That's it. That's all he said, and he got suspended over this. Now, I should preface by saying that I thought this was a joke when I first heard this story. I mean, Lord knows that things you can read on the internet are not always true. And I thought this was going to be one of those situations when the guy basically said, hey, they haven't done good here lately, but now they're turning it around. I mean, I'm summarizing it there basically. But the reaction is fantastic because announcers from other teams have defended him above and beyond. There are some announcers who are being very forthright in terms of this is an absolutely horrendous mistake, like they're taking a very serious stance, which is fine. There's others who are being very sarcastic in their response, which, I mean, I personally love that. And by sarcastic, I mean like they're praising the team they're broadcasting it for, so they hope they don't get suspended and everything like that. Kind of like a little tongue-in-cheeky thing in a way, which, I mean, I appreciate that. And it's such a distraction of what they're doing on the field and for the fan base. It's very unfortunate. Now, all that aside for a second, I want to talk about 2 other aspects of it. I feel horrendously bad for this guy. This is something that, first of all, people are saying like he should quit. They should, get a job somewhere else or whatever. Who knows how his contract works? I have no clue. It's none of our business personally. So there's going to be a factor for that. I'm sure this gentleman has some sort of contractual obligations in place, unless this goes toward, is a bigger deal in court. But if that is the case, does that really help him? Will that hurt his chances of trying to get a job someplace else? I would assume so, to be honest with you. I mean, put yourself in those shoes or in that job. You don't want to screw over someone in case, people find out through the grapevine and maybe you can't get a job someplace else or you can't make a deal or something like that. This might be the same situation. So I feel like this guy is in a horrendous place, terrible spot. Like, should he just ignore this happened? I don't know. I'm not saying I have the answers, but I feel like this is a much trickier situation than what it's led to believe. At the same time, I can understand ownership being like, listen, this is our star player. He's up and coming. We want to build upon him, be a captain of the team one day. Let's go a little easy on him. I can understand that. It's a business. Makes sense. I can't knock that. But all he did was talk about how they weren't good before, which they were not for many, many years. They're turning it around. So I think it's scary in terms of does this have some kind of ripple effect? Because the thing is, I should note, sorry, I'm all over the place. And the reason I'm passionate about this is because I've worked in the broadcast journalism field for closer to 20 years. Close to 20 years. So this stuff goes through our heads behind the scenes. You can say it doesn't matter, but it does. Because it will impact the way somebody else, journalistically speaking, does their job. Will telling the truth get me in trouble? Will how I tell the truth get me in trouble? That's going to be the case. So I'm thrilled that in a industry where it is actually a lot smaller than people realize. I've always joked around that the news industry, I've done much more financial news, local news than I have sports. I've done sports, but not an abundance of. It is the size of a postage stamp, the industry. That's what I've always said. You're going to run into people again from your past. You always will, as long as you stay in the industry, because it's that big. So I'm so glad to see people, professional broadcasters, are rallying around this gentleman. I'm glad to see how commentators, people with their own shows, podcasts, are rallying as well. And at a time where there's so much, it's tough to get a job, man. Let's be honest. It's not the easiest in the world. So I'm happy to see that while there's so much stress going on such a demanding position, that so many people are just simply rallying around Kevin Brown. And I hope in some capacity this gets rectified. I don't know how. I don't know in what capacity it should happen. This was a terrible mistake, and I hope that it's resolved in some capacity where everyone feels like they can move forward. Mistakes happen. We're human. There you go. That was a little bit more deeper than I kind of wanted to go. But again, at the same time, this is something I actually care about. I do love baseball, and I love this profession that I've been in for years. The politics aside of the job, I do love the execution of it. So this to me is very upsetting. But one thing I should say, as I was mentioning before, I've loved baseball since I was a kid in Brooklyn. Used to kind of sneak around like our garage in the back and everything. I could watch like the high school kids play baseball and everything. I thought they were making all these amazing plays. When it was probably just like simple plays, but when you're not even like pre-K, maybe kindergarten, it's like watching Willie Mays and everything like that. So it was really impressive. And one of the first players that I really grew attached to was Don Mattingly. He was just so freaking cool, man. The first game I can remember watching on TV was a Yankee game where Mattingly just killed it. If I recall, I would have to try to figure out if I can like backtrack the information to figure out what game it was. But he made 2 amazing diving plays at first base. He hit a home run. I think they won like 1-0 or 2-1, and his home run was like the deciding factor, if I can vaguely remember. And I remember, so I thought this was just so cool. I never saw plays like that again as a little kid. So, and in the post game when I was all thrilled, like they were interviewing this guy, he goes like, "Oh no, it was a team effort. It was this guy helping out, the defense here, yada yada." And I just thought to myself like, wow, he got all of these, all the attention on him, and he passed it along to everybody else. Again, we're talking maybe like 1986, 7. Really, he was in his prime years-ish. And I was pretty impressionable little kid. So I thought it was absolutely amazing. So from that point on, I was just a Donnie baseball fanatic. I have a bunch of stuff of his. And I know, as I was saying before, like approaching the eBay store and everything, listing things, I'm starting to list stuff where it's like, I don't want to sell it, but if I sell it, cool kind of thing, like the way I'm kind of progressing. And one of those things are some of like my Don Mattingly autographs. Now, the thing is, I should mention is there are a few things that I will not sell. Like I have Don Mattingly's rookie cards. I remember with my father being on the hunt the days before the internet, kids, where I was calling baseball card shops since they were more abundant and trying to hunt down these cards, and I did. And again, as I said the last time, I was like, it's the hunt of something that always got me excited. And I will not sell those cards. Not worth a whole hell of a lot, to be honest with you, but the memories of trying to hunt them down mean a lot. And the fact that I'm selling some of these Don Mattingly things is like, okay, it's like, in a way, I'm finally kind of releasing some of this stuff and everything out into the wild. It feels like a little therapeutic. It feels almost like growing up in a way. Now, while I'm keeping the stuff I'm emotionally attached to, it feels good and feels kind of therapeutic, kind of selling that other Don Mattingly stuff on the eBay store and on Facebook Marketplace and everything like that. So, just awesome. And sometimes, if you ever get a chance, like I would say one of my favorite baseball moments is in '95 when Don Mattingly hit a home run against the Seattle Mariners in the playoffs, and that was electric. If there was one moment one moment at least in my lifetime I wish I could have seen in person that didn't, was probably that Mattingly home run, and then the announcer is just amazing, like, hold on to the roof. And I know I'm rambling right now, but again, I just love baseball so much. I'm a Yankee fan, I'm a Donnie baseball fan, I will always be, but I just love baseball. I wish I can watch more of it, but with the whole blackout restrictions, when you cut the cord, it's tricky. I'm not going to go into that right now. It's a whole other topic. This is long enough for a micro episode. But there you go right there. So first time I actually got a chance to talk baseball. A little bit of negative, a little bit of happiness right there. But hopefully it balances out in the long run. Folks, you can follow me online as I wrap things up here. Check me out. I'm on MontesMayhem, MontesMayhem, across the majority of the social media platforms. You can also email me, montesmayhem@gmail.com. Please check out my eBay store, which is also MontesMayhem, as I'm starting to list some of those things as I was talking about. I'm trying to take some pictures to list some more stuff today on this Wednesday, but there's also some construction going on in the room that I usually do all my eBay stuff in, so that might be a little tricky. And I'll have some stuff on the Facebook Marketplace link, some of the bigger stuff that it's kind of tricky to ship out. For anyone that lives local to New Jersey. But that's it for today. Everyone have a great day. Hope everyone kicks ass and they accomplish their goals and they have a safe one. Take it easy. Have a good one. Bye-bye.